Hey, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jacob, and today you are watching another episode of Spinosaurus Care Center, a mini project in Prehistoric Kingdom. And from the beginning, I have to say sorry that this episode is, I think, one of the worst, in my opinion, that I made, maybe because probably you can tell by my voice, I'm just a little bit ill and I don't have actually so much energy to do so much stuff, but still you got this episode with the speed build. Actually, you have already seen a lot of that in the first episode when I show you the glimpse for another part. But yeah, coming back to the build. Today, I'm going to build the main infrastructure around the care center, so our Spinosaurus are well organized and our guests are well organized, and so nobody gets eaten and everyone will be happy. So, first of all, I started by building this actually very simple structure, being the shelter for the Spinosaurus. So, our four specimens are going to get their homes. And now I was just playing around how to do the windows because it turned out that because I really wanted to use that texture, and it turned out that it looks really weird sometimes with this part, which is actually connecting this this little part that is connecting all of the bars downstairs there is a little bit wider, and it wasn't looking good. So I was playing around finding correct stuff so everything should be nice. And at the end, I just pulled this standard 1 meter piece a little bit up, so it looks nice and proper. And okay, so I'm building actually right now the shelter for the Spinosaurus, but also in this episode, I think, yes, I'm going to build the infrastructure, so there are going to be paths where our guests will be able to go around. And also, I'm going to extend the walls of the entire habitat because I wanted to get that thing done so I don't have to do that, and everything will be nicely planned. And yeah, our windows are actually completed. I added also a little bit bar so our Spinosaurus isn't going to put just start attacking the glass. Probably they can destroy the glass, but they cannot destroy those metal pieces because they are too strong for them. And yeah, so everyone is safe. Also, I'm adding those draining points over here. So if they would like, this entire area could be cleaned very quickly. The water could be drained, and everything could be circulated, and the water will be cleaned every single time it should be. So our Spinosaurus won't be ill because we, of course, don't want to don't want that. And yeah, everyone will be happy. Just like I'm looking at the recording, now I think I will start building the actually how it was, how I can say that properly actually, the the part where our Spinosaurus is sleeping, or maybe the sleeping part, just like you can sometimes see in the zoos that animals have their separate little enclosed areas when they can sleep, and yeah, they could be enclosed. So over here we're going to have something for our Spinosaurus. Actually, I used the biggest one, the biggest male that we have over here to measure that. Other Spinosaurus, I also checked they are smaller than this big friend. And yeah, everything will be measured and they should be comfortable in their new home, and they will be sleeping well. Also, you can see me adding this this very strange kind of fencing actually. Usually the fence is just going just up or just down, I mean the bars of the fence, but now they are going in this very actually interesting way actually. Maybe and it is because our Spinosaurus could just, if they would be just if the bars could be going just like the ground is, our Spinosaurus would be just pulling his hands on it, and those parts could be destroyed after a longer time. And we are preventing that. So if they are at this shape, Spinosaurus claws could be just slip from them because that's literally a metal, and Spinosaurus, of course, would be wet because of all of this water in this habitat. So it won't be able to destroy the bars, and every time it will be contained because we don't want the situation where a keeper is doing, I don't know, the evening job in the habitat, and suddenly Spinosaurus destroys the holding pen and it's out, and the keeper is actually in a very unfamiliar situation, in the situation that no one wants to be. And yeah, also I have a tip for you over here. If you are building those kind of builds, when there are loads of those pieces, to just, I don't know, put the most important parts in a group that we are building with. I mean the building itself in this example, and then just mark that and select that parts and made it to separate group, so you don't have so you actually don't have to then play around with selecting them and pulling them all around, because that's a nightmare obviously. And that's the thing that I had over here, because I wanted to copy that and then pull it somewhere else, so I have such a prefab to work around with for another Spinosaurus, and I successfully copied that. You can see I immediately drop that away, and now I will be adding it. And also I move that over there to my, let's say, this yard that is keeping my stuff. So every time I need, I can just use it. And also I have to say that this part of the habitat is the way maybe it's the reason why my game is so laggy every time I'm close to that, but it will be coming in a second, because it needs some time, because it was just I added those. If you have seen the Seal of Isis habitat episode, you could see me add those. I It was the net piece, it was the netting piece, and also these other metal pieces for the lights, so the cables and all of that stuff will be just over that net, so it is protected, and our dinosaurs aren't able to destroy the cables, because we don't want that. It would be unfortunate. So I added loads and loads of those pieces in, and suddenly I saw that my PC is so laggy, so I had to move my graphics down, but it's fortunately not coming right now. We have a lot of time of that. Actually, this project is take a lot of time, and I'm also I'm also worried that if I want to build everything that I would like here, I I need 4 episodes at least, I think. And yeah, that is very. I think there will be 4 episodes, yeah, because that's a huge build. Just like I said in the first episode, it is so ambitious, and the very quick project in mind that was actually for the 1 episode for the Monday, it has become a mini series, and it will be half as long as the Canada Lake Park, if you remember that series still. And, and yeah, it took so much and so much time. And over here I'm adding those concrete pieces, and I haven't checked that actually in Prehistoric Kingdom. I guess it would be able to use those kind of stairs that I made, because for now I'm just building to my how I like the stuff, because and I don't even consider if guests would be able to use that. I don't care for now. I just build the things to look good, just like I plant them in my head, so everything looks nice and clean. And if it be working for the guests, I don't know. Probably one day I will try. If I would try a series, I don't know, with the money turned on, so every single spot when dinosaur could be viewed will be very, very important. And now I was looking around the fencing, but I don't think it will be placed in this episode. I can remember because also it was a very long time. I had so much to do in this week because I have an awful week, actually, I have to say. But still, got this episode. Fortunately, I have this footage from before when I was rushing to complete this episode. And yeah, that's the that's the spirit, I think. Yeah, and the building is just going on. The building is just going on. Again, I'm adding a little bit of stuff because I cannot plan such a build, sadly, and I have to learn that. Made a list what I have to do, and then build it, and made it until I complete it. Because, as you can see, if you were watching my videos, I'm jumping from one thing to another, and also I'm talking a lot about that because I cannot focus for my one things on one thing, made it clear, and then move on to another. Sometimes I had that feeling that I have one building, so I build everything around it and do nothing else. But this build, it's just too big. It is huge. It's enormous. My God, and it takes so much time to build in those games. But yeah, that's the thing, sadly. Over here, you could see that I used just a little bit of the shelter for the Spinosaurus, the industrial shelter. Let's call it that way, for our keepers to safely access the habitat, to look from the window if the Spinosaurus are in the wild, in the habitat. Actually, they're not in the wild because they have home over here. They cannot go into the wild because they would destroy the entire ecosystem going around, and they can safely just look into and then go to work over there. So everyone will be happy. Maybe I just would name this episode "Making the Spinosaurus Care Center" so everyone it will be happy, because I have not so much ideas in my head right now, because just like I said, I am a little bit sick and talking is also not very easy, because from time to time I feel just like I'm about to cough, and it's the least comfortable thing when you are doing such a voiceover, especially when I see I am on just 13th minute of the episode, and there is other half of the episode to go, and I don't know. We will see. We will see probably how it will be. I don't know. We are going to see that in the future. And again, also I had this really big trouble because it turned out that the biggest Spinosaurus, it's so big that the walls that I prepared at the beginning, they were too short. Actually, they were too short, and it wasn't fitting exactly, and it wasn't comfortable in any ways. So I have to go up just a little bit and also make those pillars just a little bit well suited for that habitat. And also just over here you can see the reason of the lag I was just talking about, and I will be adding them over here, adjust them a little bit with our beautiful tool. And that's the thing that actually what is destroying my PC right now. And I think when I again will go to that save, I have to delete that because working with that is just outrageous. It's outrageous. It's unfair, just like in Star Wars actually, because the lag that's caused by it is ridiculous. And because there is a lot of mesh pieces, a lot of lights, so the game is going crazy. And yeah, and going back to my very bad habit actually, going from one thing to the another, so I cannot actually focus on one thing because at one part I am on the shelter part of the habitat, and then I'm building those slopes for the disabled ones. And also that's the thing that I wasn't adding for some reason for a very long time. And there was the achievement for Imaginarium. But coming back to the build, I wasn't adding them for so long actually because I was just I keep forgetting about that. But now I think after all of that all of that time and every single every time you are talking about it, you have to remember about it and make their already difficult life just a little bit more comfortable. So there are going to be lots of improvements for the disabled ones. So I think yeah, there are going to be those very gentle slopes, and also there are going to be two elevators that I will be building in a minute, or maybe not in a minute. I don't know because it's it's not directed in any ways. I don't have a script actually. I didn't make a single script from the beginning of the channel, but looking at the quality of my videos and rethinking some things, actually making a script for the video should be, yeah, should be really useful stuff because I know what I'm going to build right now, and also what I can say, so it's not so my voice and what I say, it's not so, I don't know, out of place every single time I open my mouth to talk, to tell something. But yeah, I have to work around it about that. And we have the last part of the speed build, again adjusting those walls. Later they will be decorated with rocks. And why is that a thing? Is that a thing mainly because I decided that firstly it will be quicker. Of course, it will be quicker. Every time using rocks is good because it's just quicker, and it every time looks nice. And also, I thought that adding even more rocks makes this habitat look that is part of the bigger jungle. And also, if I would add another habitat to that, they are going to be making a great background for this habitat. And also they will be hiding those ugly connection points, and also I don't have to waste so much time of them, knowing that this project is already so much time consuming. And yeah, over here I just started what I was talking about. Probably I will off camera do that look even better. So it's not just, yeah, it's just the rock that is connecting two parts of this humongous wall, and it looks just a little bit generic. It's more natural and unique. Adding even more rocks. Because yeah, just like I said also in the first episode, this build has the impossible amount of rocks, and I haven't used so much for a very long time actually. Every time I can tell that rocks is the best medicine for every single mistake that is happening during the build. You can cover loads and loads of ugly stuff using rocks. But still, yeah. I think that I overloaded the save with them this time. But yeah, I think it will be worth it, especially when I'm going to add foliage, and also if my PC doesn't decide to explode. And yeah, I will appreciate that because I really like my PC, and making it explode is maybe not my biggest goal in life. Probably one day, but why should I do that? It's a good piece. It's a very good piece. But yeah, going around just looking what also I can add, adding even more rocks because why not? Also adding this, let's say, natural entrance to this area. So you get this feel that you are coming to the bigger part. Also adding, adjusting the walls so everything is nice, and the entrances, the swim entrances for this habitat. So our Spinosaurus could swim in that direction to see the bright sun every single time they want that. And also adjusting the height so they are really well and they feel comfortable in the habitat. Adding some railings so you won't just fall into the habitat of the Spinosaurus. We of course don't want that because you are going to die if you are not just punch your head into those humongous rocks. You are going to be eaten actually or crushed by this big but this beautiful but deadly creature. And also the security control, the safe control won't just destroy the park and close that project before it ends. So everyone will appreciate. And now I think that very soon I will be working at this elevator that I'm talking about in this episode, and also I was talking about in the first episode. But firstly, I was just adjusting those walls so the entire building, maybe not building, the concrete floor is not floating in the air and held by a bunch of random rocks because it's not very good. Also, that's the thing why I removed that wooden part that I built in the first episode because I wasn't able to make it work properly and to make it make sense. It wasn't possible, sadly. So I could add those rocks, I could add those very big staircase, I could add this elevator. Yeah, because that was just impossible, sadly. Okay, so everyone is safe now, and that was my first pick for the elevator. But then I decided to build something which is even more simple. The thing you are just riding into, and then it's just closed, and you can see that this is an open elevator, and it is actually, I think it's safe, and it is safe unless you are just jumping around it. Actually, but yeah, you shouldn't do that anytime in normal elevator also. But yeah, I had this really simple idea, very simple design, but I think I'm proud of that idea, just a little bit, maybe because I didn't build such a thing in any single of my parks, and that's something new, and also that's something new that's universal. Probably I could save that as a prefab, so I use that more often. I can also put that in the workshop, so if you would like to see some of my builds in the workshop from Prehistoric Kingdom or Planet Zoo, just write in the comments down below. Also, you can leave a like if you like that video, and also if you are not subscribe because you are helping my channel. But yeah, stop that ridiculous. Stop that because that's ridiculous. Now coming back to the build, I'm adding just a little bit of glass because I thought that we have this elevator, it will be going up and down every single time, and we are going to have kids running down there, and I have already imagined that, yeah, kids and running kids and the elevator, it's not the best thing that can be next to each other. So I added this glass walls so everyone will be contained and everyone will be safe, because yeah, the basic infrastructure for all of that stuff, for the Spinosaurus Care Center, so everyone, also the Spinosaurus, could adore this beautiful build. And it's so big, oh my god. I haven't used to that because maybe just I was growing up with those kind of games in Jurassic World Evolution 1, when building something that could be called Care Center or the research compound and something like that took, I don't know, if I'm not paying, if I wasn't paying so much time to details, it was just, I don't know, maybe maybe 2 hours, and already I have over 6 hours in this save, and I think I am half the way completing it, which is crazy actually. And now I'm building this roof. Also, I have issue with this roof because I was using these metal pieces, and at some parts the texture is not, maybe it's not fitting the next part, and I was thinking about hiding that using this moss texture from the Stone Age theme, and add just a little bit of foliage on it, so the entire building is the roof of the building it's not so boring, and it looks just a little bit more interesting. Also, adding just a little bit of ventilation could be also really good. But still, I will be building that next week. Fortunately, the better rig, but I will see. We all will see. Also, I wish you best week ever, everyone. If you are watching that, and especially if you are watching till this point, because I know that watching nearly half an hour video on YouTube is it's a big thing actually, because you really have to take your time and watch the thing, and also just think about what that Polish guy is actually talking about, and why is he talking about, because he is ill. Yeah, again, playing around with this roof. You can see that I had already enough, because I was just placing those roof pieces anywhere I could, and then I was just coloring them, just like in the kindergarten where kids are playing around with the drawings. They are just, pick one color and just nearly full the picture with color, because they are just a little bit bored, and then they are going to the next part. I don't know if it's that a thing, but I know it was the thing with me. So probably it resembles me playing this kind of game. So here we have it. Uh, and yeah, I think we are nearly finished actually. Let me see on the timestamp. Yeah, we're nearly finished. So I hope you enjoyed. Have a lovely day, and see you in the part 2. Bye bye.